Hey everybody, so my name is Dylan Hepp. I'm a communications major with a focus in multimedia journalism. It's a big name, still trying to figure out what it means. What I hope to gain from this course is kind of a finer understanding of communications with different cultures and things like that. I think most people like to think that they have a good grasp on what communicating between cultures is. They think that they know how to do it properly. They think they know what it is. They think they know the fine details that we're getting into in this class, and I don't necessarily think that's the case. I think a lot of people like to think that. Even I've thought that at one point that I had a good grasp on it. Within the first couple of days of this class, I started to realize how disconnected I might have been from what I thought, how well I did at communicating with people. My mindset's beginning to change from this class already, and I think it's going to really help me going into the business world. Being able to communicate with people, being able to talk to them, understand their differences, where they come from, their opinions, their thoughts, things like that, and being able to bring mine and my background and things like that and bring them together in a very constructive way. I think that's very big in today's world. I think there's a big emphasis on being able to communicate with people from different cultures, just because there's just so much out there that's coming out, that's come to the forefront of different cultures and what people consider culture and things like that. I think it's going to be excellent for today's day and age, and I'm really excited to actually learn about this information and get a good grasp on it. I would say as far as my culture goes, as you can tell, I'm a white man. Hard to say, I wouldn't put myself into a specific culture, say that I carry this culture with me. I mean, I'm a religious guy, but that doesn't mean that I don't go to church every Sunday. Unfortunately, I would like to go more, but life gets in the way. I wouldn't put myself in, that upper class range of white male or whatever it is that people talk about nowadays. My, economic class, I would say, is like every other college student, pretty poor, but I work hard. I have a job along with going to school. I have loans just like most people do. And that, I take care of what I have to do. I pay my own phone bill, car, apartment, groceries, the works. I do what most of us do in college. So I wouldn't say that I'm in the middle class. I wouldn't say my parents are middle class. I grew up a poor kid. So more than anything, lower class, working my way up. I enjoy working on cars. I guess that's kind of, you hear the term car culture. I love cars. I love working on them. I think it's my hobby. It's my way of getting away from things. I would say that's maybe a culture that I could fit into, is the car culture and being in that community, but I don't identify with everybody in there because some people are just not my cup of tea. And that's just the same with every walk of life. I don't really rope myself into any group, because every group that I go into, I'm going to find somebody that I hate. And that's just who I am. I wouldn't put myself in a particular category of culture, things like that, because truthfully, I can't pin myself down to something like that. I have many different interests, different thoughts, ideas, things like that I'm not going to share with one particular group and be fine with. Most people might just rope me into the general heterosexual guy that enjoys sports, cars, and you know what? For the most part, it's kind of right, but at the same time, I don't see that as a culture, I guess. I mean, you can throw me into that group or whatever and just say that's who I am, but at the end of the day, I consider that a stereotype more than anything else. It's just because you're not even getting to know who I am. You just assume, oh, he's a typical guy, blah, blah, blah. But I would say I'm an American. I believe that we live in the greatest country. Whether you want to agree with that or not is up to you, but I dare you to try and have the same voice that you do in other countries and expect it to be the same that it is in America. I think there's a lot of negative that gets a light shined on it, too much so that we forget the positives, that a lot of things that are offered here, you're not going to get somewhere else. And people take that for granted. And growing up the way I did, I don't take a lot of things for granted. So I think, I love America. I think it's a great country. I'm Irish, immigrated to here, love the country. I live in the same civilization as everybody else doing this class. So yeah, looking forward to learning, and thank you.